what elements need to be in common for two people in order to enter into a committed relationship?
You know, people often wonder how much do they need to have in common, or what does it really matter that we're significantly different in various ways. Most couples would ideally want to have a deep connection on all levels for it to be really fulfilling for the both of them, for it to be a strong relationship. That means to have a very strong emotional connection, a very strong mental connection, intellectual connection, a strong physical one, and a strong spiritual one. Some people tell me, well, you know, I didn't think the spiritual mattered, it would come in time. But in fact, if one of you later decides that the spiritual does matter, and you start to develop it, and the other one has no interest in the spiritual, it's going to provide a basis for conflict, and it's going to be sad for both parties. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't have a spiritual life just because your partner doesn't. That would be not a good choice to make. But ideally, you and your partner could share on all levels. Now, even if your partner did originally agree or was doing the same spiritual path that you are, that may always change, and you have to always be ready for that, and you have to always be committed to doing your own spiritual path, whether your partner does it or not, whether they do it at the beginning or whether they do it later. So my advice is to people, you need to do your spiritual development, whether your partner is doing it or not. He or she may join you eventually, they may never join you. Whichever way it is, your spiritual life is between you and God. However, if you're starting a new relationship, I would recommend you start it with someone who also shares an interest and a dedication similar to yours in the spiritual life and the spiritual path you could have in common.